I'm sure that you've all got as many questions as I have kind of buzzing through my head at the minute, but we have to hold on. Sorry, Adam. We have to move on to the last group, and then we can have questions afterwards, and of course, the wine reception, as I keep saying. I don't know why. So the last group are our Spanish hosts to talk about medieval Iberia. And not get to the wine promptly. So we won't take any questions afterwards. Just head over to the wine directly. Okay? You okay with that, Lee?
If I question during the wine, that's no problem. Elena, más abajo. Abajo sí se puede, no sé ahí. Abajo seguro se puede. Esto no. Ah, pues. Sorry for the delay.
I'm just building anticipation.
Okay. So the project we're going to present is I wanted to is Medieval Iberia through Pelagios Commons. That is the project in which we have been working these months. So how did this all start with these people that come from Spain and Argentina? So we came to know what Pelagios was in 2014 at the Digital Humanities Conference in Switzerland, and we thought that it was a great chance in the first moment to put this into practice, as it was, for example, in relation to enhancing our digital editions, a very good point of start to work with our students, mostly with Recogito. The first time we used and we worked with Pelagios was in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, that same year, in which we presented we did a very small presentation using Recogito with the Conquista de Ultramar, that is a medieval Spanish text that is almost a kind of chronicle. And this is how we started working, and this year we started collaborating a little bit more through the special interest group of Medieval Iberia, all together with Marianne O'Doherty that is here. And this is the project in which we started working, and one important thing is that we are like newcomers in this world. We had never worked with this kind of technology until this year. And how did we plan our project? The first thing that we wanted to do was to work with medieval Iberian texts, mostly with the ones of the 13th century, Alfonso X's documentos, notariales, and that had been edited by the Hispanic Seminary of Medieval Studies in Madison. So we got in contact with these people, and we revised a little bit the edition to make it some more like readable, not in a paleographic edition, but in a kind of critical one. And we started looking for the places that were there in those documents. So the first thing that we did was to think of putting all these things in a gazetteer. The second thing that we thought about was this, to tag those places of our corpus of the textos y concordancias electrónicos de documentos castellanos de Alfonso X through Recogito. And the third part of our project was to develop a framework for automatic extraction of medieval Iberian place names. That was our last development using NLP technology. Sorry, there is something more. What we first chose for working with our gazetteer was working with Pleiades as a gazetteer. We have entered 150 or 200 Iberian places there, but sadly, up to now, as you know, they haven't all been revised. It's a kind of a slow process. In the first moment, we thought that it was like the most robust and good point of start for us. We hope to finish with this process soon, so as to move on with the rest of the project. So, Clara.
My turn. So, another part of the project that we found very interesting was to use Recogito as a didactic tool. So, as Gimena pointed out, she had worked before with Melissa Marti about a chronicle, Hacienda de Ultramar. So, they presented in the recent DH conference in Buenos Aires a workshop using Recogito to map spaces from Europe and then from America. It gave very good results. As you can see, people having fun and in the photo. And of course, these kind of uses have as well research results. So this is an example by Melissa Marti as well, because she started working before, not that long ago. So she uses it to medieval travels. And as we think it would be very interesting, we created a tutorial in Spanish about the Recogito tool, the new Recogito tool, and it was based, of course, in the speech Pau de Soto gave us in the summer school of LIM. Thanks to you all. And with this tutorial, we introduced the students, mostly students that are in their last year of degree, so they are doing their final project degrees or final master degrees, to annotate text. Mostly they have begun with the text of Hispanic Seminary of Madison. And so far they have gave us very good feedback, and it is very interesting because literary students are not really familiar with geodata and what can they do with this kind of information.
Well, and I'm going to introduce the third part of the project, which is now our first prototype. So this is just out of the board, and we still have to improve and to develop a lot, but we wanted to show you a tool which has just really been launched and finished. And well, I have to first say that here we have to say that the work is especially part of Maria Luisa, which sits over there, which is our developer in NLP and this kind of thing at LIN. And well, she wanted me to explain it, but it's really her job. We have developed an app for localization and labeling the places of Spanish text which does the work which is developed by Recogito in an automatic way. So it aims to help this process of identification of geographical place name using Recogito, but with an automatic process. The application is processing a corpus of meaningful text and enhances the gazetteer of medieval places in Iberia. If you want to see more on how it works, we have just created a video in Spanish which explains with more detail how it works, and we will provide an English translation, but as I told you, this is very new, so if you want to see more, it's in our YouTube channel. And I wanted just to explain you how it works. The tool has 3 parts. It has a part of which is a processing mode for medieval places. It has a module of data and indexes of places, and it has a third part of transformation of words, which are just over there. The part of medieval processing places has it has a lexical analyzer, which recognizes words, but not only words, but also examples of construction. For example, if don or dona, which is like the nomination for a person in the medieval ages, it has this syntagma recognized as an entity. And we have also identified places like river or words like that, which are before a name, are supposed to introduce some place name. So this is our lexical analyzer. Then we have the data dictionaries, which have 4 parts. A first gazetteer, which is a medieval Spanish places gazetteer, which is fed by Frilling, which is an NLP system, which has a lexical NLP recognition and a lot of things, but it also has a part which is a medieval Spanish lexicon developed by Talp Group at the University of Barcelona. We have used this, and we have also used especially Pleiades, where we have added these places for medieval places using the text that Gimena mentioned before, and also geonames, of course. So with the combination of these 4 sources, let's say, we have developed a disambiguation process in which, if a place is mentioned in two gazetteers at the same time, we choose in the order of Pleiades, medieval lexicon, Frilling, and then geonames. And the last part of the tool, it's I think it's a very interesting part, which is this word transformation process, because many times in medieval Spanish, the ways in which people write words differs. For example, we find Castilla and Castiela because the language was not very strong at that moment, and we have diphthongs, graphical variants, and we can just register every word in the gazetteer. But we have created some kind of rules which define the evolution of phonetics, for example, in the Spanish language at that time. So there have been these rules have been grouped within the distance that separates the original word from the possible evolution using the distance of Levenstein and Engram's things. So, and we have then developed this kind of approaches for transformation, and when a word appears and it's not in the gazetteer but it's similar to one of the rules that we are applying, then the system chooses the most close word to the word that we have in the gazetteer. And if it's okay, then it adds it to the medieval lexicon. So this is the XML that it generates after the processing mode. So we get that, and this could be linked to Recogito or whatever, so because it's XML and it's linked to the Pleiades and to all the references. And it also gets this processing format, which adds automatically the new words and the new detection to our medieval gazetteer. So this is very quickly what we have done. Now it has to be improved, the rules have to be revised, and this is a very, very first version, but we hope it helps everybody to work more on the automatic process of adding this first step of recognizing place name in Recogito and the stuff that you have done.
Thank you very much.
So thank you very much for listening to us, and we hope that the things that we have done could be also shared and used by everybody. Thanks a lot.